The 49ers head south to Inglewood, Southern California to take on the Los Angeles Rams. I tell you what, if they stick to these five things, these five keys, they will be victorious. Welcome, everybody, to the Keys to Victory. All right. Keys to Victory brought to you by 49ers Webzone.com. Listen, 49ers fell short. They didn't stick to my five keys. They typically don't stick to the five keys to victory. I keep trying to tell everybody, all they got to do, 5 points, key in on them, capitalize on all 5 points. They will be victorious. They lost last week to the Kansas City Chiefs. They got beat really bad too, by the way. And guys, you can find this article on www.49erswebzone.com. So make sure you guys go ahead and check that out once it's released. Watch the video at the same time. All right. Now let's get down to the keys to victory. All right. Look, 49ers got to do these 5 things. And I'm going to start with number one. Number one is going to be utilization. And what do I mean by that? Look, Deebo Samuel will not be playing in this game for the 49ers. And in my opinion, Deebo Samuel has mind control over the Rams. Whenever he plays, the 49ers win against the Rams. But he won't be playing today due to a hamstring injury. So the 49ers are going to have to figure out what do they need to do to get this victory. Now, they traded for another weapon. Me personally, I consider him the new Weapon X, right? Deebo Samuel's the Weapon X last season. You can give him the ball just about anywhere in the field. He will be productive. Well, the 49ers traded for another piece in the name of Christian McCaffrey. Yes, C-Mac. The 49ers need to find a way to utilize Christian McCaffrey to his strengths. He can run the ball. He can pass the ball. There's so many things that he can do, and the 49ers need to make sure, in particular, Kyle Shanahan needs to make sure he finds a way to get Christian McCaffrey the ball. Now, the last time Christian McCaffrey played against the Los Angeles Rams, Christian McCaffrey had a day. Didn't get into the end zone, but he still had a day. All right. Had almost 90 yards in receiving, almost 70 yards in rushing. You're talking about a lot of yards, total purpose, all purpose yards for Christian McCaffrey. And I heard in an interview that Aaron Donald says, man, it's tough preparing for that guy. Matter of fact, I don't think Aaron Donald has ever respected a player from the 49ers ever. Him and Deebo still beefing. So the mere fact that Christian McCaffrey is getting respect because he just ran all over the Rams in week 6, the fact that he's getting respect from the all-pro, the number one defensive player in the NFL, Aaron Donald, should speak volumes. Kyle Shanahan needs to capitalize on this. He needs to find a way to make sure he's utilizing him without overworking him. So how can he utilize Christian McCaffrey? I tell you what, line him up in the slot. Put that guy in the slot. Let him do his thing in the slot. Because you know what the Rams are going to do? The Rams are going to line their best player up in the slot. Yes, Cooper Kupp. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. Number 2, turnovers. Oh, my gosh. Look, the 49ers are the 8th ranked team in total turnovers. They have 48 turnovers this year. I'm not even going to break down the turnovers. You can check that out in the article. But 48 turnovers. I tell you what, about 21, maybe 22 of them result in the revert back to the offense. I'll leave it at that. You can figure out the rest. All right. So yes, they have to figure out a way to eliminate these turnovers. Now, the interceptions are starting to pile up. The 49ers have about 6 interceptions on the season, 5 of them coming from Jimmy Garoppolo. Trey Lance only had 1. Those 5 of them are coming from Jimmy. So they have to figure out a way to eliminate these turnovers. Now, there's context behind it, obviously. And if you check out the article, you're going to see that there's context behind it. But for those that aren't going to be able to read the article, the context is simply that the 49ers were trailing in the last 2 games. And because they're trailing, they're going to throw the ball more. All right. And if they're going to throw the ball more, you just have a higher chance of throwing an interception, in my opinion. I just think that's how it works out. So 49ers have 6 interceptions. They also have 6 fumbles. So I have to figure out how to eliminate these fumbles. The 49ers should not be fumbling the ball on offense, period. Period. That goes for everybody. Put 2 hands on the ball, find a way to hold on to that ball. Teams are coming to punch the ball out. The 49ers need to win the turnover battle. If the 49ers win the turnover battle, they'll win this game. It's simple as that. It's just simple as that. 49ers must win the turnover battle. They win the game. Now, there's a team that's worse than the 49ers when it comes to turnovers. I told you that the 49ers had a total of 12. Well, guess what? The team that they're playing has a total of 13. Okay? They turn the ball over on offense a little bit more than the 49ers. They actually have one more. Matthew Stafford has 8 interceptions on the season, and they have 5 fumbles on the season. All right. So they have to figure that out. Like they have to figure out how to, fix these turnovers because that's what it comes down to. They're turning the ball over at the worst opportune times too, as well. Like it's the worst opportune times they turn it over the ball. And you're saying to yourself, dang, they get down to the end zone, turnover. So they have to figure out how to eliminate those. And if they do that, I guarantee you they win this turnover battle, they win this game. All right. Number three, touchdowns. Why? Why am I saying touchdowns? Because the 49ers are having a tough time on offense scoring touchdowns. I tell you what, if they get into a shootout, the results are going to be what you saw in the Kansas City game. All right, they're going to lose by double digits if they have to revert in a shootout. So they have to avoid that. And the best way to avoid that shootout is by scoring touchdowns, especially when you're in the red zone. Oh my goodness, the 49ers got to the red zone numerous amounts of times this season, and they failed to get 7 points. Sometimes it results to 3 points. Sometimes it results in a turnover. But the 49ers have to figure out how to score touchdowns by any means necessary. And you want it to come from the offense. You can't rely on your defense to get you a touchdown every game. You can't rely on your special teams to get you a touchdown every game. The offense has to get themselves together and score touchdowns. According to Brandon Ayuk, they're too talented, way too talented. So they got to get touchdowns. And it starts with the QB. It starts with the signal caller. It starts with those two coming together, figuring out ways to get that ball in the end zone, especially in the red zone. You can't get to the 10-yard line and not be able to punch that ball in. I get it. Defenses are trying to stop you from getting in. But the 49ers, again, are way too talented. They're way too smart. And they have to figure out how to get that ball in the end zone to score touchdowns. You put up touchdowns, that makes the other team have to match your touchdown. If the other team can't match your touchdown, let's say they get 3 points, you still have that advantage. You put up touchdowns, they score field goals, you win the game. So touchdowns. Number 4, discipline. Ugh. Oh my gosh. Discipline, 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 discipline. We talked about turnovers. Let's talk about penalties, right? The 49ers lead the league. Well, they're number 8 in penalties. And that is, it's, it's not good. It's not good. Guess where the Rams are? The Rams are at the bottom. They're number 1 in not getting penalized. Number 1 in not getting penalized. So the 49ers have to figure out a way to limit their mistakes. They have a lot of mistakes that they show each and every game. And you feel like from a well-coached team, from a coach like Kyle Shanahan, a coach like DeMeco Ryans, these guys, like the players should be all in and they should be disciplined enough not to gain these penalties. The 49ers are going to have to figure out ways how to make sure that they remain disciplined all game long. And they're self-inflicting wounds, right? And this is why the 49ers end up finding themselves on the losing end of the game. Self-inflicting wounds, a holding call on a big game. Self-inflicting wounds. Defensive holding after you just had them on a 3rd and long. Self-inflicting wounds. Lining up off sides. Self-inflicting. You can't line up off sides. That's not something that you expect from your players, period, especially and a player like Nick Bosa, who did it 2 times. I think that's the first time I really felt like Kyle Shanahan was like furious about his players lining up off sides. You got to figure out a way to be disciplined, remain disciplined in this game. They got to figure it out. And these are the things that you're hoping that the 49ers find a way to just get into, because being disciplined allows them to stay in rhythm. Being disciplined allows them to control the clock. Being disciplined just allows the 49ers to open up things. They got to remain disciplined. Stop making the mistakes. I'm not saying play mistake less football or mistake-free football. That's almost impossible. You're at the discretion of these the officials. So they're going to make calls regardless. It's their judgment. But the 49ers got to figure out ways to stop shooting themselves in the foot and remain disciplined at all times. And I told you I was going to get back to this guy, and his name is Cooper Kupp. The 49ers, usually I'm saying you have to contain the quarterbacks or find a way to keep these running backs from gaining yards and things like that. No, 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 no. Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp's going to line up in the slot probably the majority of this time. Matter of fact, in week 4 against the 49ers, he lined up in the slot 33 times for 100. Like, he had 122 yards total as far as receiving, didn't rush. Okay. And 56 of those yards were yak. So that tells you he's lining up in the slot and he's trying to get ghosts. But here's what the 49ers defense did. They contained him from scoring. All right. People don't like my word of containment. They feel like containing is stopping the production. I feel like let him get as many yards as he wants. Just keep him from out the end zone. I think he's their number one scorer. Got to figure out how to eliminate him. And the only way you could do that is just contain him. Let him play underneath and make sure that the 49ers are making those tackles in the slot. 49ers are looking to have a new player in the slot. Today's name is Jimmy Ward. He's not a new player, right? He's probably the most veteran player on the team, most tenured player on the team. Him, Eric Armstead would probably be the top two. But Jimmy Ward is going to be playing in a position that he probably doesn't want to play. He's going to do it. But I'm quite sure that's not what he wants to do. It's not what he's getting paid to do. He's getting paid to play safety, free safety, or strong safety, whatever it is that he likes to do. Jimmy Ward is. This will be his second week back from the injury to the hand. Let's see if he's going to have that club on. He did take it off in practice, but Jimmy Ward's going to have a tall task in trying to contain, not eliminate, but contain Cooper Kupp. I will give Jimmy Ward some upside because this kid can tackle, he can hit, he can do all those things. Keep Cooper Kupp in front of him. Jimmy Ward also has the speed. I don't see Cooper Kupp being such a huge threat. So this is going to really fall on Jimmy Ward. Watch out for that matchup. Ward versus Kupp. That's exactly what you're going to get. Listen, those are my 5 keys to victory. We'll go backwards with containing. We'll go with discipline, playing mistake-free football. You got to score touchdowns, guys. You got to eliminate these turnovers as well, man. Just get rid of the turnovers, period. And if you do, make sure you win the turnover battle. You want the other team having more turnovers and utilization. And this could go for any player, but I'm in particularly talking about Christian McCaffrey because he, my friends, is the X factor. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Keys of Victory. And before we get on up out of here, I do want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors. Listen, you can bet anything, anytime, anywhere with Mybookie. Mybookie is willing to match up. I can tell you right now, up to $100 for your first initial deposit. So if you plan to do some betting this weekend, make sure you use my promo code Breezy100. And here is a small word from our sponsor. Football season has just begun, and you can keep your excitement alive with MyBookie's double deposit bonus. Having your initial deposit matched up to 1K is like playing every game with a home field advantage. You must sign up. Use promo code Breezy100 and instantly get your funds credited to your account to start rocking with MyBookie. MyBookie is also home to exclusive contests that can be used to maximize your winnings and make 2022 your best year yet. Don't miss out. Double your first deposit up to 1K using promo code Breezy100. Place your marks and get ready for the NFL season's intensity. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. Again, that's promo code Breezy100. Thank you, everybody, for watching the Keys to Victory. And thank you, 49ers Webzone. We will see you next week, same time, same place. Thanks for watching.